Good morning and good afternoon and good evening, wherever you might be tuning in from. My name is Francisca. I am tuning in from Toronto, Ontario, Canada, one of the most multicultural nations in the world. Today, we are going to talk about know your geography. It will make you appear sharp, intelligent, and witty. First of all, what is geography? Geography is defined as the study of the earth and the forces that shape it, both physical and human. It is the study of the earth's landscape, people, places, and environments. The other day, I was at the car wash. I went to go have my car cleaned. And the man paid for his car wash, and I had mine free because the car wash where I go, after 5 washes, you get the 6th one free. So the lady at the counter said that I have a free car wash. So the man overheard and said, "Do I also get a free one as well?" And the lady asked him for his phone number, and she said no. Then he said, "How come she got a free one?" I said, "Well, I had a free one because I had used 5 car washes, and the 6th one is free." Then he said, "Wow, you're such a beautiful lady." I said, "Thank you. You're also very handsome." So he asked me, "Where are you from originally?" And I told him. And then I asked him, "Where are you from?" He said, "I should take a guess." I said, "Are you Indian?" He said, "No." I said, "I'm not sure." He said, "I'm from Afghanistan." And I said to the guy, "Are you from Kabul?" The man's eyes lit up. He said, "Oh, you know Kabul? Have you been there?" "No, I don't. I've never been to Afghanistan, but I know that's the capital." So the guy started to ask me, "Are you married?" I said, "Do you want to marry me?" So we were just joking. So the fact that I could even know the capital of his country, he was really intrigued. Know your geography. I'll give you a second example how it's good to know your geography. I used to teach ESL, English as a Second Language. For those of you who do not know me, I am a former educator. I taught French and English as a second language for over 20 years in the United States, in Canada, and China, from middle school to university levels. I'm also an author of 4 books. I'm a speaker, a real estate investor, and a wealth creator with a Mind Assistance Program, aka the Map Book. So, when I used to teach ESL, I would tell the students on the first day of class, I will look at your name and look at your face and guess the country you're from. And please tell me if I'm correct. I was right 99% of the time. So the student said, "Teacher, how comes you know where we are from our faces and our names?" I said, "When I see a name like Amandeep, Sandeep, Mandeep, those are Punjabi names, or those are Indian students." They said, "Ah, you look at the name." Yes, sometimes from the name, you can guess where the person is from. When you hear a name like Nana Okafor, no, I'm sorry. When you hear a name like Okafor, um, Akintola, Ajibolade, those are all Nigerian names. When you hear names like Smith and Johnson, those are either Canadian, British, American. So what I usually did when I taught ESL and also French as well, on the first day of class, I will ask them to fill out a form. I want to get to know my students. I ask them for their name, their city and country of birth, their interests, their hobbies, what they plan to learn in my class, what is the outcome, the objectives. So one student asked me one day, "So teacher, why do you want to know where we were born?" I said, "So that if I want to make a joke, or if I want to give you an assignment, I know that you come from this area." And just to know my students, where they're from, just for the knowledge. They said, "Okay." I remember it's really good to know where it's really good to know your geography, because when I used to teach ESL, I told my students, unless you are an Indian student, do not sit next to somebody from the same country. Indians are all over. In Canada, everywhere you go, you see Indians. So in my class, majority of my students were Indians. So I told the students, do not sit next to somebody from your own country. And then they asked me why. Because you might start to speak in your dialect, in your vernacular language. And we are here to learn English, not to speak in your mother tongue. So at the end of the semester, I asked my students, did you like the arrangement that you had to sit with somebody from another country? And they said yes. And I said, why? I got a new friend from another country. 2, I learned a new recipe. And 3, I learned another way of thinking. So they were very happy that I asked them to sit with somebody from another country. It's important to know your geography, because I remember one day when I was in America, I used to study in the US. That's where I did my post-secondary education. 2 students in class were having an argument. They said that Mexico and New Mexico are the same things. You see this map here. Mexico is a country by itself. This is Mexico. New Mexico is a state in the United States. So they cannot be the same. New Mexico and Mexico are 2 different things. But 2 students were arguing that it was one and the same place. When I used to teach French, on the first day of class, I will tell them the importance of knowing a foreign language, the importance of being able to speak French, and I talked about the French-speaking countries and their capitals. So for their homework, I would ask them to write out, we discuss the countries and their capitals. So for their homework, I asked them to write down all the French-speaking countries and their capitals, including the territories which are French-speaking. Then I told them I'm going to give them a quiz in a month's time, so they have to know all the countries and their capitals. And then later on, I asked them to pick a French-speaking country and write an essay about it, and they have to present it in front of the class. So they did that, and they said they did not know that there were so many French-speaking countries. It's good to know your geography, because I know of one of my students who was appointed to a French-speaking country to go and work, and he thanked me because he knew the capital. There was also a story when I was learning how to speak French. When I was learning how to teach French, our French teacher told us that there was an American who was appointed U.S. ambassador to a French-speaking country. He asked them, where is that country located? In life, it's not every time you have to speak. Sometimes you don't have to show your ignorance. At that time, there was no internet. All he had to do was to keep quiet, go home and research where the country was located. It's even biblical. There is a time to speak and a time to keep quiet. Know your geography. The reason why I said it's important for us, everybody, to know their geography, you might be invited to go and speak at a conference. So you have to know, is this in Africa? Is it in Asia, in Europe, North America, Australia? All right. You might be invited by a friend to come for a visit. You might be posted there as a diplomat, for example, if you work for the United Nations. So please know your geography. When you know your geography, you appear intelligent, smart, and witty. I'll give you an example. One of my mentors came from Pakistan. When I met him for the first time, he introduced himself and said that he is from Pakistan. So I asked him, are you from Lahore, Islamabad, or Karachi. His eyes lit up. He said, wow, I'm impressed. You know those cities. How did you know them? I said, I just know them. I used to teach ESL, so I made it a habit. When I taught ESL students, I found out the city and country where they came from. It was an eye-opener. So this is just my little spiel for today. Know your geography, because you never know how it may come in handy. Have a nice morning, have a nice afternoon, and have a nice evening, wherever you might be tuning in from. Now I will transfer this video to my YouTube channel. If you liked what you saw today, please like, share, and comment. And subscribe to my YouTube channel under my name, Francisca Epale. Have a pleasant day and see you tomorrow. Bye for now.